Thank you, Natasha, for the presentation. And I think you've set the ball rolling with the Module 1. So for Module 2, we'll be looking into how we can seek job opportunity through networking or network opportunities. And this provides us with some tips, basically from real life experience and what we also have in the book. Starting from this kind of basic understanding, it's important we all are graduates or students, and we need to also understand that in terms of anticipating the pathway for our career after graduation, we know we are formally on campus at a time, and from there we choose different courses that we want to study. And at the end of the day, we finish, we do internship, we finish, we graduate, and we want to seek for job in the job market. But the reality is, there are several things that we do. We engage in several things. Sometimes we do some work study. Sometimes we, go for summer classes. We engage in activities through the academic advising or maybe career center. We engage in internships. Sometimes we change our courses, and sometimes we have some kind of opportunity to also engage in networking and career fairs. So all these are the things that we do. And at the end of the day, what we are seeking for is to get a job, after all this. In another way, we also have this feeling that I used to be a former student, and I want to go for my studies. I became a student assistant, did my thesis, work in a company as a project manager, became a group leader, and also maybe get into a bigger industry. So, but when you look at all the ladders, they all require certain steps and skills and also time, So, but in reality, our journey is a little bit haphazard, in reality. So, sometimes you change job, sometimes you create new opportunities for yourself, you get a full-time job, or you change industry, or sometimes it's haphazard. So this is to tell us that the job search and the networking opportunity is very dynamic. Along the way, we meet several people and we engage in several things. So this is to give us an overview of what we are going to discuss in this section. So going further, so here we are going to talk about networking in the job search context, and we're also going to talk about how to use our networking in terms of finding job opportunities. And as you know, successful networking requires a lot of preparation. You have to prepare, and you also have to practice, So it has to also do with your ability to use the online facilities and the offline facilities. So I mean the in-person contact and also online contacts. And I know a popular tool that many of us are very familiar with has to do with the LinkedIn or the LinkedIn, the way you want to call it. So at the end of the day, we want to network, to create jobs, to get opportunities. And what I will also say is it's important you remember that networking itself has to do with information sharing and not also the job itself, not like you are looking for the job itself, but it has to do with information sharing and information search. So at the end of the day, you are not really looking for the job itself when you are making network. You are just building that network to create some sort of contact that could be a kind of ladder or a kind of connection to something. So that's why I said it is not just what you know, it also has to do with those who you know or who you are connected with. So going further, there's a popular saying that says your network is your net worth. The people you know, the people you've been able to associate with, and how you've been able to associate with this set of people has to do with your net worth. So, and going further in this, there are some tips or, kind of opportunities at our disposal. For example, some of us belong to some professional affiliation, maybe association of women scientists or association of women engineers, something like that. Or we've been able to do some work part-time or during our studies, some kind of internship, both the paid and unpaid one. And we've also been able to volunteer. So some of us are very active at community development, doing some engagement with maybe in our city or some associations, or maybe we are also very active in some community engagement or even some maybe student groups. So these are some of the network at our disposal. Then going further, it's important we have this understanding that the power of networking goes beyond job search. So one of it is it's provide us to have access to the hidden job markets. And aside that, it provides us with the opportunity to have referral. So if I'm able to know Natasha, she's an expert in this field, I can refer her, I can make recommendations for her. So this is one of the essence. Aside that, the power of networking is also helping us to gain industrial insight and the knowledge of the industry. So now what is invoked is artificial intelligence. What is invoked now is climate action, or what is invoked now is IT skills. Such kind of network platform provides us with what is going on as far as the industrial trends. At the same time, we can also help ourselves to build that professional relationship. For example, there are some key people that you will see their profile and you'll be inspired and you feel like, oh, he's able to have this kind of degree, he's able to do this kind of thing, he's able to switch career. So those kind of things provides us with a lot of information in terms of statistics and also maybe even some kind of research when you check all those networking platforms to effectively manage the kind of network you want to build. So going further, there are some very simple networking tips and skills that I think we all have them, but it's good we remind ourselves. One of them has to do with the use of our social network platform. And aside Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and the likes, LinkedIn has to do with more professional. I think is also there. Then you also have to define your strategy. What kind of strategy are you using? So are you in a city and you live in maybe you live in a city like let's say Cottbus, and you on your LinkedIn you put a city like Berlin as your place of residence. So you should also look at that. So you must have a strategy. You have to stay connected, check once a while, create the opportunity to look through to see what is going on, and also take care of your online presence. How do you appear online when somebody search your name? What do they see first? So, and also increase your referral from those kind of online platforms that you have. So going further, I think before we go deep into this networking for job search opportunity, we can quickly have a kind of quick insight into the German job market itself. So the German job market itself is built on very high industrial platform. You have the research platform, you have the academics platform, you also have the international development cooperation platform, and also the multinational firms are there. And looking at the data from the German largest industry studies that was done by the Ministry of Economics Affairs and Climate Action. So as of January 2023, so turnover by sector of the industry in billion euros for the whole year. So we talk about the automotive industry, it's very strong. And the automotive industry, they have a lot of different kind of job opportunities, both the science-based, social science-based, and also humanity-based and the likes. And you also talk of the healthcare sector, so followed by the healthcare industry. Then you have the information technology and telecommunication. You have the mechanical and plant engineering is there. You have the chemistry and pharmaceuticals, followed by the electrical engineering and electronics. So there are more, but this is what the infographic is able to provide us. So the German job market itself as at 2023, from the projection by these studies, it shows that over 2 million jobs are open in Germany. So if you check the Arbeitsagentur platform, all those platforms, you see a lot of jobs. Under Berlin, Frankfurt, and Munich are the highest paying states in terms of job. So, we also know that with the new current trends of the migration laws, so 447,055 immigrants admission are likely to be admitted in year 2023. And as you can see, this provides us with an overview of the average yearly salary of different group of people within the cadre of information technology, engineering, finance and banking, marketing, sales, human resources, healthcare, and teachers. So you can see the disparity. So, and looking into the outlook, so this outlook also provides an insight into top in-demand jobs in Germany as of 2023. So nursing and healthcare is a major one, engineering, aviation, IT industry, finance and insurance, business analytics, and accounts management. So, and as you can see, some of the salary out there on average per annum. So it's also there in euros. So looking into all this insight, this provides us with the understanding that the opportunity are there in Germany in terms of job, but how we package, how we get the jobs that we desire is also key to our well-being in Germany, and that's why our network is very important. So there is an aspect which I always tell a lot of participants in employability session that location matters a lot. So here is a kind of data from this platform. This is the Bundesamt Statistics Office. So where it says Germany most international federal states. So can anybody give me the most international federal state in Germany from this chart? I'm waiting. So what can you infer from this chart? So which one is the most international federal state in Germany? We are migrants and we are international. So it's a strength. So you have to mind that. I just need 1-2 answers, then we move on.
I think one of them is Berlin with 17.6.
Okay.
And the other one is Bremen with 17.4.
Okay, Bremen. Okay, good. Thank you. So we have Bremen 17.4, Berlin 17.6, and followed by, we also have the likes of Hamburg 16.2. Then you can come down to Essen, so 15.7, then followed by Baden-Württemberg 15.1. So as you can see, I mean, sometimes it's good to play with this kind of chart to really understand the job landscape. And I also have another one because and averagely in Germany we have 11.7 in terms of how internationalized a lot of states are in Germany. So here is another chart. So here this provides us with the German RPS region. So it's also important. So when you are doing the network and also searching for a job. So maybe somebody should provide me with an answer. So the RPS region in Germany, so maybe 1 or 2. Can you provide me with that? So as migrants, these are some of the things we have to always think about too. I just know 1 or 2.
I can see that
Okay.
Schleswig Holstein seems to be one of the happiest with 7.44%, I guess.
Yeah.
And then the next one I see is Hesse.
Okay.
With 7.31.
Exactly. I mean, as you can see, they are all very close to each other in terms of the numbers. So if you look at the western part, so you have 7.7.7 all through. And when you look at the eastern part, you have 6.6 towards the downside. Towards the Bavaria region, you have 7. So mind you, these are some of the things you might have to think about sometimes. So going further, let's talk about LinkedIn. The LinkedIn platform, virtually, I know many people have created their kind of profile, but we have to also repeat this because it's a very useful tool that we've also addressed in the book, and that we've been able to point out some information that has to do with how we can assess different opportunity there. So it allows, on the one hand, to consult job offers, and on the other hand, to be able to network and contact people relevant to one's professional career or professional project. So it's the world's largest online networking platform, and it's also over 500 million people in over 200 countries. And it serves as a recruiting tools and also for job search for people. So some key features and benefits, which I feel maybe we might have forgotten, but it's also important we talk about this. So in terms of establishing your personal profile, and you take control of how you do your top search in terms of the way you do everything. So you build and maintain your network through this, and you also find connection and also learn about companies through the platform. So at the same time, you can also find other professions in terms of in the industry, what is the trend. And you can also share thoughts. Maybe you post some articles, you publish some few things. So I can also show you the way I do mine. Once in a while, I just post something or I just react to some things and if we have time. So, and at the same time, you tap into the knowledge of your network because this is a key thing. And you discover new career opportunities and you can also search for jobs. So part of what we need to do, normally we need to do some demonstration on this. So you create your sign up, you with your email, you create your password, you do your location, you put your profile picture, very nice profile picture. This is key. Possibly you can create your headline, write your summary and things like that. So it depends on how you do your LinkedIn profile. So I can quickly do a short demonstration on what I have in my LinkedIn profile. I regularly change a lot of things there, but just to give you an overview of what I've been able to do with mine, and it has been very useful for me. So let me quickly do that. So I'm not saying my LinkedIn is the best, but you can always do yours. And there's a lot of tools out there that you can make use of in terms of working on your LinkedIn profile. So here is my profile, and in my profile, I try to create something called the headline that relates to my career and my profession, and possibly let me see. Uh, Maybe this should be the links and everything. So you can do the editing, you can click on it and edit some things that you want to do there. So, and sometimes people usually have a kind of about you just write something about yourself and things like that. So, and for me, I've been able to put maybe some of my work experience and everything down there. Then maybe the education and also skills. So you also do this. Then recommendation too, sometimes is also good. Maybe, for example, I try to do that when I engage in any project with any of my former colleagues. I just tell them to make me a recommendation, and I also give recommendation depending on how it is. So, and sometimes if you feel you've published some things, you can just put it there because this will allow people reach out to you. So depending on how you want it, then I mean you can do a lot of things around this. Then if you want to search for jobs, it's also there. So it's a very good tool to search for job if you want to build some network. So all these are there. So this is just to give you a short overview, but I think possibly in the one-on-one kind of session, if this will be something some participant will want, we can dig further into such kind of uh, discussions. So yeah. So going further into the presentation. So like I mentioned, I've been able to tell you how you can use your LinkedIn profile, how you can improve the LinkedIn platform to improve on your job search and things like that. So registration is key. If you don't have it, you have to do registration, fill in your details, and then from there, you can start networking with people. So there are some practical information in the book, but some of them I've been able to extract them here. So here, where it talks about the way you have your profile picture, the quality of the people you connect with to, it's important, or you connect with is important. And also the way you create your digital image in terms of what do you publish. Do you just argue on the platform? So you have to avoid those things that will bring some kind of minus things into you. And you also have to you have to take caution about the content that you share. It's very important. And remember to always update your account. It's important. It's very important. So here are some useful online job search tools available. I always like to start with the Bundesagentur für Arbeit, because it's a very strong platform when you see a lot of thousands of jobs there. The other aspect is, how do you get this job from there? So you have Indeed, you have Stepstone, you have LinkedIn, you have all of them are there. Since you have Job Monster, every one of them are there, and there are many of them out there that you can check for. Even sometimes you have to look at some areas like green jobs. I think there's a platform to like green jobs, so something like that. So I think this gives us an overview of how we can enhance network opportunity. And when we are able to build our network either through LinkedIn or our social affiliation or professional affiliation and things like that, it's important to build your job toolkit, the tools that you need to use to file for your job, which is basically your CV and your cover letter. So possibly if we are applying for the German jobs, which is in German, so you use the German version of your CV. If you're applying to the English companies or companies that are multinational, you can use the English version. So, and maybe you can also add your credentials, maybe like your letter of recommendation, certificate of maybe of different things that you want to, maybe your studies and things like that. And your CV is like your power, and that's why I mean you are familiar with Arnold Schwarzenegger and also James Bond. So they are very powerful actors, and let me say even characters. So nobody knows you as a person. It's the only thing they see about you is your CV when you apply to the job. So you have to be up with your A game in terms of collecting the information that you want to put in your CV. So anything that is irrelevant, just push it out. And I think there's a lot of things in the book that you might be able to check later. So there's some kind of advice when it comes to customizing your CV. So you choose appropriate format, you make use of your headlines and subheadings, the way you arrange everything, your experience, your education, your skills, you arrange them in a kind of orderly manner. You also use bullet points to highlight those skills that you have, and also maybe if there's a need for color and things like that. So I will quickly want to show you something. This is a kind of a demo, a kind of a CV, which is a German CV. So you can see our name is written here, address, telephone number, email, date of birth, depending on how you want it. If you want to have your date of birth there, and also those things that has to do with maybe she's married or not married. So some people don't put this, especially, but if you want to put, you can put it. Then a short profile about herself and about experiences and about her studies. So you could also see this, and there are several tools you can use. We have in the book, we have some reference there where you can use the Europass platform where you can use it to create your CV. You can also use Canva. So like this one is created on Canva, so you can see the way it is. And I think I have another English one too here. So depending on how you want it. So it's important you make it as clear as possible so that they can read, and whoever is having it can read and understand more about you. Then there's another aspect which has to do with your cover letter. So cover letter is very important. Um, I know the way we used to write our cover letter in our countries are quite different from the way here in Germany, but I think on a large scale, you can also use this kind of structure. And I think the book also gave a kind of guide on this. So where you have your address, the address of the company, the title you want to apply for, the heading, and the salutation, the content, and the way you have the content is also very important. Then your signature, and maybe something you want to enclose that's attached to this cover letter is my CV, is my certificate, and maybe reference letter. So something like this is a kind of accepted generally. So and it's important when you apply for a job, look at those specifications that they need. Try to ensure that those things are similar to some of the things you have. You can also adapt them somehow and also have maybe one or two sentences to emphasize on those things that you feel the job is talking about in your cover letter. So I will just quickly want to have some suggestion as a form of closing tips for this module 2 and 3. And I would suggest as internationals, rejection, I mean, somebody mentioned rejection. Rejection is a normal thing within the German job market. And I think it's a cultural thing, which will take a longer time for the, let me say, for the German HR system to also understand the the intercompetence aspect of the culture of different people that are applying, the international applying. So when you receive rejection, don't take it. It's used to create a kind of fear and concern, but I feel it will get to a state where you feel like, oh, it's a normal thing. So it's a normal thing within the job market in Germany. So, and you just have to also build your thick skin, not to be affected by that, not to be down by that. So this is why most times I always advise that go for multinationals or international firms that are in Germany if you really want to seek for some jobs in Germany. The reason for that is that they want people that speak your language. Maybe you speak French, maybe you speak Arabic, maybe you speak English, plus maybe the German, so some of those things. And focus on emerging areas in your areas, those emerging areas in your area that you feel people are not really focusing on, and those things that relates to the SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. So related topics, which you know that these are key topics. Then also seek for firms that wants to break into the regional market, regional market, for example, you are from Latin America. So, and for example, you're from Peru, and you feel like some company wants to get into the Peruvian market. I mean, you can go for such company, approach them, apply. Don't be surprised, they might offer you that contract as quick as possible because they know you have that competence that they need to manage whatever project they're having in Peru. So you can also polish your skills, those skills that you feel there's some weak aspect there, polish them, and add new tools to your expertise in terms of what you can do and put them in your CV and be open to opportunities. Sometimes maybe you are an environmental scientist and you have an opportunity to get a call from a recruiter and they said they need an environmental toxicologist. For example, you can also have a kind of, okay, let me have this interview, let me have a talk, let me understand what it's all about. This is what I can do, but I can learn this if there is a kind of in-house training on this. So be open to opportunities. Don't be too rigid. Then sometimes companies look for people that can work remotely, where you can do studies from them, desktop studies. You can also go for that. So, and sometimes I also advise that freelancing might be a way out for some people to start to find a stable job. So possibly you can advertise yourself, and there are a lot of platforms there. Even all the old social media too are also available. Then I think in that regard, I mean, there are this Fiverr platform, Upwork and Co. So some people are looking for good proofreading experts, editors, technical writers, even translators. So sometimes you can look into this just to keep yourself busy and also get into the job circle so that you won't have a kind of fallow time while you are searching for a job because you need to put something you were doing during that period. And if you post things like this, companies will see you like, oh, she's busy with something. And that means she can do a lot of editing and proofreading of our proposals. Okay, employer, sometimes they employ people based on just simple things that we overlook like this. Then it's important you understand your strength and weakness. And I think Natasha has been able to mention that a lot. And the reason why I'm trying to emphasize this is important because, for example, your strength, what you've studied is your strength, your qualification, the skills you have, these are your strengths. And since we are all migrants and you're all migrants here, your intercultural competence is also a strength. I mean, the things that you can do with that cultural understanding from where you're coming from, it's something people pay for to understand. So it's also a strength. Then possibly some of the weakness that we usually come across when we have this kind of session is that language, the German level of German speaking is important. We need to improve this. It's important for every migrant to improve this if you really want to continue your opportunity and experience in Germany. And extra skills, you have to look for them, especially those things that you feel are important in your area of specialty. So I think this will be where I will stop the module 3, and I will hand over to Natasha, and I'll be waiting for your questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Ibrahim. Okay, now for module 4 and 5, we have Shegun.